So I have been asked this question a lot. Why did I choose LPN over RN? Well, LPN chose me. I did not choose to be a LPN. When I tell y'all God will work in mysterious ways, and I didn't understand why I had to go the LPN route until I was a LPN. Whew. Hey y'all. So this video, where do I start? I don't even know where to start. First of all, welcome back to my channel. I am the MomNurse fashionista, mom of 4, single mom, nurse of almost 8 years in August, LPN. This is a very sensitive subject. I think this is why I have not done this video, but I know that a lot of people, a lot of nurses, a lot of nursing students, a lot of people that are interested in getting into the nursing profession want to know, why did I choose LPN over RN? If you don't know, in 2008, I was accepted into RN school. I did 2 semesters, 2 terms. I did OB, maternity, and peds, and I did med surg and pharm. Well, when we are taking assessments, as you know, a lot of people have to do HESI or ATI. We had ATI. I failed my assessments. So when you fail your assessments, you are able to take them over. Well, I took it over, and I wasn't a great test taker back then, because you know, as we know, LPN school, RN school, I don't care which one you go to, it's freaking hard. It's not ABCD, oh, what is 1 + 1 is equals 2. No, questions are not like that. First of all, it's gonna say 1 + 1 is equals what, and you're gonna have 4 answers, and it's like all of them gonna be 2, and you gotta pick the best one. Like, so nursing school test taking is so different, right, y'all? So I failed my assessments, which meant I passed my classes, but I failed my assessment. So they was like, okay, you have to retake the course. So I had to retake all of my clinicals over in a whole semester. And I'm like, why? Like, why, Lord? And I said, okay, you know what? It's all cool. I'll do everything all over again. Well, when I got back in the RN program, when I redid that semester over, it wasn't the same. I wasn't studying like I was supposed to. And I was like, I wasn't embarrassed, because it happened to a lot of us with ATI. I wasn't embarrassed. I was just like disappointed. You know, back then my daughter was 5. My oldest back then was 5 or 6 years old. And, you know, I didn't understand. Like, I was struggling in nursing school, working 12 hours a week as a CNA, as a home health aide. And I was making $199.48 every 2 weeks, y'all. And I just didn't understand why this had to happen to me. Like, why me? Like, I'm good. I've always wanted to be in the medical field. This has always been my first love, starting off with a doctor, a pediatric doctor, and I changed it to NICU nurse. Then I once I was in nursing school, I'm like, I don't care, I want to be a nurse, you know. So I felt like, why me? Why this had to happen to me? So I never forget my 25th birthday. I went to Jim's place. Y'all that's from Jacksonville know about Jim's place on a Friday night. That was me and my sister and my friend's place, okay? Had a time of my life. I took the assessment, maybe it must have like the day before or something. And that next week, that Monday, I was waiting for my results. And I texted my teacher, because we had a relationship like that. Our professors were awesome. They're still awesome. And I text her, and she didn't text me back. And I had already had this feeling, you know, even feeling like something isn't right. And I went to school, and we had all lined up to get our results. And I had failed ATI, not my class, but ATI. And it was like, Lorna, you know, this is the second time. This is the second time you're taking this semester, and you can't take this semester. We're gonna have to dismiss you from the RN program. That was like, my whole world crushed, y'all. My whole world crushed. Like, that was the worst. Like, why would this happen to me? What the devil did I do to anybody to deserve this? So I was like, whatever, I'm going back into this, okay? Well, the director of nursing, she was so nice. And she was like, you know what, Lorna, I was an LPN when I started off. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah, I started off as an LPN. It's a wonderful foundation. Why won't you go get your LPN? And I didn't understand LPN. Like, I didn't understand, like, really, even in RN school, I didn't really understand thoroughly the difference between LPN and RN. I just know when I worked in a hospital, they weren't able to hang certain, like, medications and hang TPN and, total parenteral nutrition. That word always get tongue tied with it. But I understood that from when I worked at the hospital, but like I didn't understand what was the difference, well, why they had LPN, why they have RN if you could be an LPN type deal. And she was like, we have a sister school. So to answer other questions, I did go to a private college where you get in immediately. But I don't regret that. I don't regret it because of the debt, because I had to still pay for RN school. It's on my debt. I still had to pay for that, as well as LPN school, y'all. So I personally wouldn't advise it, but I mean, you have to make that decision on your own. I had awesome teachers at both schools. Okay, so at any rate, she was like, we have a sister school literally up the street. So I went up the street. I didn't have to do no entrance test, y'all, because I had already done my entrance test. It was only like a year. So like I told y'all my birthday is in May. So I got kicked out the nursing program in 2010. I had did the nursing program in 2009, like 2008. My years are so confused, but at any rate, I got kicked out the nursing program, RN program, 2010 of May. 2010 of May, the end of May. May 31st, June 1st, I started the LPN. Okay, I got in a program, and it was like basically, no lie, like everything we did in RN school, like fundamentals, we did fundamentals. It was like the same thing. So like I was acing a lot of stuff. It was once we got into other classes that I had never taken in RN school where it was a little harder, but I had already learned how to study. So I had my studying pat down. I took it way more serious because of course we had study groups in RN school, but it was it was study group / parties, and it wasn't because I partied or something like that, you know what I'm saying? It was just because it just wasn't for me. It just was not for me. God did not mean for that to happen for me, to be honest. I have had awesome freaking jobs as an LPN. You have to watch my prior videos. I talk about so many jobs I've had as an LPN. I make money as an LPN, especially now. Of course, I am an LPN of 8 years, so I better be making some money. But I have learned so much. We still did peds. We did everything, we did everything. It was just a little different because we couldn't go into the hospitals, but we went to daycare for peds and stuff like that. So I once I got into LPN school and I saw how it was similar, but it was only a year. Like we started school June 1st, and the end of May we were walking across the stage getting pinned. Check out those pictures, okay? And like it's the best thing that could have happened to me. I passed every ATI, y'all. I knew how to study ATI. I hated ATI. I hated whoever came up with ATI. They could kick rocks. They could kiss my butt. I don't like you. Like this literally was how I felt about ATI, because I studied my butt off. I worked hard. I went through hell as a single parent at the time of one. And I was broke. And you gonna kick me out of RN program? So I had a hate relationship, and then I fell in love with ATI because it was the ATI. I still got my ATI books to this day. It was ATI, y'all. When we did, the end of the assessment, we do an end of the year assessment that's going to tell how well you're going to do in your in class. I aced it. I aced every ATI. I kicked this behind. On the top of my test, my granny used to tell me to write, "Oh Lord Jesus, I thank you." I would tell my students that. I would tell my daughter that, my oldest, when she would do her test, because she had really bad test anxiety when she was younger. And y'all, like, I freaking did so awesome in LPN school. And yes, I did 2 terms of RN school, but I still hadn't completed LPN school. So a lot of stuff I had not done that I hadn't done. So it didn't have anything to do with, oh, well, you already did that and it's the same. No, like, I learned how to study. I had an awesome foundation, man. It's just awesome. LPN school and RN school is the same thing. You can't work in a hospital. Okay, big deal, but you can still save lives. We still save lives. It's a beautiful day to save lives. Where's that from, y'all? And you know, it's like, I'm so happy. Like, you could tell, my classmate that was in LPN school with me, hey girl, she had watched one of my videos. She watched 2 of my videos, and she watched the one when I talked about me failing RN school. That video was so emotional, y'all, because I did that video in 2018. I quit my job. I was ready. I had a situation in my life where I was able to go back to school to get my RN license. I have started going back to school. Y'all got to check those videos out. Going back to school with 4 kids as a single mom, I was scared as hell. Listen, I had freaking anxiety, but I did it because I'm not finna let fear stop my dreams, right? So you can do it too. Anywho, and I was so emotional because I was going through something at the time with financial aid, and it was just all this stuff. And the reason why, you know, they was trying to say I couldn't get financial aid because I had took so many classes over and over when I did my prereqs. Long time ago when I was going to get my RN, right? I had to do all those prereqs, right? Well, I was going through domestic violence issues with my oldest dad. It was so much going on. He was crazy. It was Jesus. It was just too much restraining order type stuff, y'all. So I wasn't in... my daughter at the time when I did my prereqs, y'all, I had her like at 19. So I went straight into college doing my classes and raising her by myself as a newborn baby and everything. And so, and going through domestic violence and going through restraining orders. So I went through a lot while I did my prereqs. So I was failing my classes because I wasn't focused, and I was working. Then I started working 2 jobs as a single mom with a baby, y'all. I was doing all this stuff. And so it was like, you know, they was like, well, financial aid, and I go pay for your classes. I'm like, well, how the hell am I gonna pay for my classes? I got 4 kids. I felt like it was the devil, like, stopping me. And I'm finally here. Like, I'm finally here, and I can't even go on. I'm finally here. Like, I'm there. So at any rate, y'all, that video was very emotional. Then she saw my video that I must did like November. And I was talking about work from home jobs, and they hiring right now. This is in November, which those jobs are still hiring, because I actually got somebody on LinkedIn contacted me 3 weeks ago about a job like that. So check all those videos out. I have a work from home playlist. So I'm like I am now. Like, you can see the twinkle in my eye. Like, I'm happy, and I'm glad I took the route I did. I'm glad God aligned my life like that. Like, it was him. It wasn't me. Listen, we can plan and we can write our goals, but God got... His plans are different. I'm going through so much right now. And I'm like, Jesus, I've been going through something, so y'all, since June. And it's like, why? What are you trying to show me? When I get over this hump, Lord, I know something beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful rainbow. You know, it's like Christ, you know, and just like with my car being stolen, you know, it's like think my car was found. Then I was having issues one after another. It is April and I'm still having issues. Listen, our plan is not ours. At the end of the day, it's all about God. And that's why LPN school, I didn't choose to be an LPN, y'all. God chose that for me, because I wouldn't have been a hospice nurse. Lord, I met so many awesome people. I wouldn't have been done telehealth. Look at what's going on with the coronavirus and COVID-19. I wouldn't have known nothing about no telehealth or nothing. What is that? Well, I kind of had an idea before I got into telehealth, but I mean, telehealth is bomb. It's bomb. I'll do a video on telehealth nurse too. Listen, our plan is, we gonna plan, and that's fine. And when God turns stuff upside down, don't doubt him and wonder why. Because I was crushed. I was crushed when I failed. I was embarrassed. Nobody knew. Like, my close friends knew, and my family knew. My close family. I'm talking about like my immediate family, because I felt like it wasn't nobody's business. Now I would tell anybody, because I need you to understand that our plan is not ours, and it's nothing for you to be ashamed about. I get so many people that I look up to that are nurses and been nurses for a long time and tell me how they failed. Girl, I failed school. Girl, I failed a semester too. Girl, I got kicked out too, and I was about to get kicked out, and I'm like, what? Like, if we don't share our trials, if we don't share our tribulations that we go through, we can't help the next person go and get through their hump and get through their trial, and let them know that, baby, you got it, you good, you keep going, right? So, who y'all? That's LPN school chose me. I did not choose it, y'all. And I'm glad it chose me, because I wouldn't be where I am. I had no idea that I was going to have 3 babies. I had no idea when I was in nursing school in literally when I was in nursing school in 2011, I had one of my kids 2013 and then the twins in 2014. If you would have told me that in 2011, I would have looked at you like, what? And I just look at my career path, and I thank God for my career path. I have done so much. I have met so many people, and it's just like bomb. And you don't just have to work in a nursing home. Like, no, as an LPN, no. It's so many opportunities out there for us, especially in 2020. If you're going into nursing now, like, you have so many more opportunities out there for us. It's awesome. You can still make banging money as an LPN. And yes, I want to get my RN, but y'all, right now in my life, my Lord, it's like not good for me. I have one more class left to take to get into RN school. But when I tell y'all, LPN school chose me, baby. I didn't choose it. So I hope this video was inspiring. I could go on and on and on and go into a whole nother video, into a whole nother topic. But I just want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to share this with people. Like, you know, you and your girlfriends talking, and you like, girl, I'm gonna be an RN. Like, listen, it doesn't matter. The difference is 1 year versus 2. You are in school for 12 months and you have an awesome foundation. You can go work as a nurse, as an LPN. Nursing is hard. It's not easy. It's not easy, baby, when you get into nursing. Y'all see these nurses, and they're struggling emotionally and mentally and physically. They tired. It's tiring. Nursing is tiring. I have wanted to quit nursing many times in my 8 years, especially, you know, with the kids and stuff. I stopped being a nurse for maybe it wasn't a year, but, you know, complications with my twins being born early and me being put on bed rest. And after they were born, I wasn't ready to go back into hospice. That's what I was doing at the time. And I'm like, I got to take a break. And I took a break. And I'm still a nurse. I still paid for my license. I still made sure I looked at stuff and studied and kept up on top of stuff. But sometimes it's like that, and that's okay. You can step away. It's okay. I'll go into another field. I'll go to another floor, you know, and to another specialty. But y'all share my channel. I love talking about this. I never knew my channel was going to turn into this, inspiring and encouraging. I always been an encourager and inspirer, uplifter, because I feel like we need it. Women need it, especially women of color. We need to stick together more so than trying to bring each other down. But I thank y'all for listening to me, and I thank y'all for, you know, hanging in there with me, and y'all awesome. And the encouragement y'all give me, y'all don't even realize, like, when y'all comment in these videos and y'all send me DMs in Instagram, and y'all find me on Instagram, it just makes me feel so happy, because I prayed for this. I said, God, I need to be able to reach women all over the world and tell them exactly how it is. You know, even if you don't have no children, or even if you have 10, we all women at the end of the day, and we trying to slay our goals, okay? We all trying to be goal getters. But let me go, because y'all hear the kids. They need to eat and get a bath, and, you know, so y'all stay safe during this time, and prayers for everybody out there that are on the front lines. Prayers for you all. Thank y'all so much for listening. Bye.